Good morning. Welcome to Falls from Iron. Full of beans, yes, ready to go. Please don't forget to drop a like on the stream, comment on, share it to your social media platforms. Hit the bell. Why not? Hit that bell and you'll be notified of any new content that we upload to the channel, won't they, Duke? How are you, my friend?
As I just said to you offline, I'm pulling this out. Like, look at with those people. Look here. I look like I've got an M. What is going anyway? No, we finally finished decorating the kids' bedrooms. Well, paid someone to decorate the kids' bedrooms. So now it's a case of carpet cleaning one and then building 2 sets of beds today. Before then, I start work at 5 o'clock this evening for our DJ. Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. I might even pop down. You never know your luck.
Ow! I'm not that unlucky.
Behave yourself. Behave yourself. We've got a very special guest lined up, haven't we, Duke?
Hey, listen. When you say special, do you mean special or like he's a special
Steady. No,
nice.
I mean nice. Special as in a very good friend of the channel, friend of us. A real all-round good guy. The only problem is
good guy.
Yes, there's only one thing that I would probably say that he loses brownie points for is that he supports the opposition. Chris, how are you?
Good evening, or morning, afternoon. I'll cover everything. It's really brilliant to be back on Craig Dawson's #1 fan channel. And how is the new Bobby Moore doing these days?
He's doing really well, let me tell you. He's coming on a bundle.
Is he? I can just say, I wouldn't go so far as friends. I mean, let's get this into perspective. This is all part of my community service.
Now.
having to come on and support those less fortunate than us.
We've got a load of people that are commenting in live chat. It's lovely to see. There's lots of. No, you're horrible.
I'm not having it.
You're horrible, you are. No, I'm going to let him back in.
What have I done?
I take the notice of him. He's just grumpy because he's tired. He's the same.
Well, you didn't pop round his bedroom last night, did you? That's why it was.
Behave yourself. But no, I'm just looking at the live chat. There's plenty of people. They're all having a good little interaction with each other. I'm not going to put all the comments up because a lot of it is just hello, how are you?
On that note, can I just jump in a second?
Yeah.
Becca. Don't listen to Happy. She comes across as a really nice, sweet little thing. But, I mean, she's going to start breathing fire at some point. So just as heads up, you've been warned. All right.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you're in so much trouble. She comes to your pub. I'll tell you what, you are in so much.
She's a pussy.
No, but she'll come back and she'll. Yeah, you're horrible. You are. Chris.
Me.
What are your sort of like thoughts ahead of our meeting in the Premier League? Are you confident? Are you apprehensive? Where are you at? It's been a bit of a weird season for you guys, hasn't it?
What's confident? Do you know? Look, I mean, no, I'm not. I'm going to be totally honest with you. You taught us a lesson early on in the season. You deserved it. You were all over us. All right, don't go that far. Don't rub it in. I'm trying to be magnanimous here. You don't realise that I actually hate your guts. But no, you deserved it. You played well. Antonio's cardboard cutout could have scored against us in that game. That's how bad. And I think that kind of some reason that we were about to have, and we didn't realise that. We sort of looked. Well, I had looked at West Ham and thought, yeah, you had a good season the season before. You're going to be back down the bottom, fighting relegation again where you normally are. And fair dues to you, you've not, and you've done a really good season and good luck and what have you. And Leicester, the problem is we've had 2 really good seasons, and when you have, as a fan, when you have a good season, you say, Leicester fans are slowly turning into Arsenal fans. We were 5th the last 2 seasons. Why aren't we 5th now? We should be 5th. That sort of attitude.
Yeah.
And it's not. It has been. It's been a funny season all round. Anybody can beat anybody. with the way we've played, we should really, on a normal season, be sat probably 15th, something like that. We're not, because of the sort of season it is. We've got games in hand. Other people have got games in hand. It is a totally, I mean, prediction league. I couldn't predict the second coming, let alone a football game this season. But it's almost a reality check season for us. We've had to, we are sat in 12th at the moment. I think we've got something like the 10th or 9th most expensive squad. So maybe, we're not, that's where we possibly should be. But we've had two really outstanding seasons. I don't think it could continue because for anybody, whether it's West Ham or Leicester, to do well, you need one of the so-called big clubs to sort of drop away. All right. I mean, I think you're taking advantage of Man United's troubles. This season, we've got Arsenal coming back. We've got Spurs coming back. We've got you guys still up there for more competition, where the last couple of seasons, it's probably been only Leicester that could sort of go for that sort of elusive fourth place. So, yeah, it's been and I think as well, when you look at, say, Man United, I know we don't want to look at Man United, but if we do think of Man United, Alex Ferguson in his time there reinvented that team 3 or 4 times. And maybe that's what we've got to do now. We know Tielemans is going to be leaving. That I know Fabio announced it yesterday, but I think it was the worst kept secret. We always, if you don't sign a contract for 12 months, you ain't stopping. So maybe it is time for Rodgers come out. Now, he's never criticised his players before live, and maybe he felt it was time he had to. Maybe that was his hairdryer, he's throwing a cup of tea, whatever moment. But maybe it is time for us to sort of reinvent ourselves. And that's going to be, you're going to regret asking me that question now, aren't you? It's the end of the show. Thank you. Goodbye.
Behave. Duke, to bring it to you, what's been your thoughts on Leicester this season, the times that you've watched them? I mean, have you been sort of like quite surprised that they're where they are, given the previous 2 seasons, as Chris said, 2 5th place finishes back to back? Oh, he's on
he's gone again.
He's on mute. Are we in the
Hi,
room?
everyone.
Hello.
Nice he sounded better before. He did sound better before, let's be honest.
There's a lot of noise going on behind me. Everyone's shouting at each other. Logan not doing as he's told. Grace wanted to punch him in the face.
We're joined by some Burnley fans by the looks of it. I don't believe we've been acquainted, but you clearly know Chris. Welcome along.
You don't want to know Dan. You don't want to know Dan. I tell you, he's trouble.
Wow.
He's trouble.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to
You'll fit in with Kerry then. I mean,
no, listen.
I want to say one thing to Dan. How are those salad fingers this morning?
All right. I tell you, I'm going to get his contact details off of you if he doesn't mind.
He's good. He's a good man. He's a good man.
Getting him on.
Yeah.
and to be fair to Burnley, they play in the right colours. So, sorry, Duke. Continue.
I was just touching on what Kerry said earlier. When she said about the injuries and everything else. I mean, I'll see what I find, but there it is. I'd have expected them to do better. But then, as Chris says, it might be time for that reinvention. As he was saying about what Ferguson did at United and such. It's every few years is essentially how that went round. There'd be 2 or 3 players coming through to complement what they already had, and maybe it is Leicester's time. I mean, at the end of the day, that I think, as Happy said, injuries have cost them this season. I think there's been a bit of a kind of a bedding in period for the likes of Patson, Daka. You brought in Lookman as well, didn't you? And I have to say, he's impressed me of late. I have to say, I did say that I wouldn't have had him at West Ham. I wouldn't have had him at West Ham. I take that back. I really do take that back based on this season. I think he's actually been really good for you. So you know, I just think there's a little bit of a bedding in period. You know, Vardy's on the way out, whereas you've got, you know, Patson Daka coming in. Huge Patson Daka fan myself. And then when I think he scored a hat trick, didn't he, in one of his first, was it, or 4 goals in one of his
He got
first
4
couple of
goals
games
in the Europa League. Yeah.
And I kind of just sat there going,
Didn't do us any bloody good though, did it?
no, but then the anger started because I'd been kind of, we'd looked at Patson Daka at the back tail end of the transfer window, and you kind of nipped in and went, we'll have him, thanks. Same as and I'd kind of championed him in the same way that I championed Chan that went to Wolves. So, you know, a little bit of bedding in period for him. You're kind of not getting the same output that you've had from Vardy for previous years, and that's understandable. I mean, that's not something that, you know, is going to change. My watch is going off. But no, I would have expected to see Leicester, you know, potentially in and around us, for want of a better word. You know,
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I hate to blame injuries because I think it's a cop out from all teams to blame injuries. But we've had injuries at some point this season to 9 defensive players. How can you get, you know, I don't think 2 defend, you know, we've let in more goals. I think only Burnley have let in more than us this season. And that's because we haven't got a settled back 3, 4, 5. It's being changed, not because he wants to all the time, but because he's had to, because of what's been available to him. And, you know, you found when you know, one player A's got the ball and he passes it, he thinks, to where player B is going to be. But player B is injured and player Z isn't, just, you know, he's nowhere to be seen because they're not used to playing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
how much do you think it's been that has been an impact? Obviously, once Ollie left Manchester United, there were fairly strong rumours linking Brendan Rodgers with the Old Trafford hot seat, and I don't think that those rumours have gone away completely. I mean, has that had an impact, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, were Man United ever going to take Brendan Rodgers? I mean, no disrespect to us, you don't even have 9 defensive players. Hey, we've got a couple you can have. We've got a couple you can have. Happy Vestergaard, if you want him, he's available. Well, I'll drive him up for you. Don't worry about it.
Has he been that bad for you?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, again, I mean, he's 6'6". When he jumps, he's 6'2". But he's come in. He's come in. I mean, this is the guy. You know, we played Southampton and beat them 9-0, and we've gone out and bought 2 of their defenders. I mean, how does that work?
Well, we had that years ago. I mean, my very first ever West Ham game back in the 1940s. No, it wasn't the 1940s.
It was longer than that.
25th of October 1983, Milk Cup, second round, second leg. West Ham United 10, Bury 0. And playing at centre half that night was Paul Hilton. What did John Lyall do fairly shortly thereafter? He bought him.
Yes. I mean, joking aside, one player doesn't make, you know, it's a team performance at the end of the day. But he came in and he's coming to an unsettled back 4. So we've not, and he got injured just after joining us as well. So it's been a baptism of fire for him. But unfortunately, he is the guy that's getting all the blame, if you like. But back to Rodgers. I mean, he's a good manager for Leicester. Is he a good enough manager? He's been to Liverpool, and I think that's a big no with the Man United fans. Is he the sort of manager that Man United would be looking at? No. I mean, they've got their own problems, and, you know, we're not here to discuss Man United problems, but even if it did turn his head, and it just shows...
We can laugh at them.
We do regularly. It does show how fate can change. You know, he's gone from everybody wanting him to not being linked with anybody now because of the season. But, you know, he's an adult, and if he's seen those links, he should want to go out and make sure that his team's, you know, working well. And if his team is, you know, he can show that he's a good tactician with his substitution. So, no, I don't think it turned his head, to be honest with you. And we got him in for the long term. You know, we've got him in. The idea is going to build something there, hopefully. And whilst we'll never probably see another Ferguson where he's somewhere, 20 years or so, he's there, he's building the youth up, he's got the new training ground, he's got a great relationship with the owners, and people are asking for his head now. For God's sake, wobble your own heads. Do you know what I mean? It's one bad season. Everybody has it. Ferguson had a bad season. Like I say, Liverpool won everything under Klopp in one season. Next season they won nothing. Were the fans calling for his head? No. We're Leicester. We're not Man City, guys. Let's like I say, wobble our heads a little bit and accept what we are. But but that said, if we're having the same conversation this time next year, but before the January transfer window, then maybe we should look at him going. But let's give him that chance. Yes, he's got to rebuild the team. We are going to be losing Tielemans, possibly one or two others. Vardy's coming to the end. The defence hopefully will be coming back. So let's just see. Let's just see where we are. I don't think we're going to go down. I think there's 3 worse teams than us. And Dan, you're just worse than anybody. You should. It's about time you went down. Get rid of bloody Burnley. I tell you what, I can't stand them.
That's it. That's him unsubscribing from you now. I've literally just subscribed to his channel, and I think he's just unsubscribed from you.
He's my brother from another mother. He's my son. No, he's not my real son because I would have drowned him at birth. But
we couldn't possibly condone drowning of children on Falls from Iron. We distance ourselves from those comments. Yada yada.
But no, I mean, Norwich and Watford are a waste of space. They really, really are. Why they just stay down next season, guys? Don't bother coming up. Give some proper teams a chance to come up and give it a go, because you're just wasting everybody's time and airing coming up, to be honest with you. So I don't think we're going to go down. We're not going to get Europe. So let's just accept this season now. Hopefully we can do well in the Europa Conference League. We had the group of. I'm sorry, I'm really taking over here, aren't I?
No, that's fine. You're the guest.
We had a really bad Europa League group, a really difficult one. You had a great group. You said at the start you couldn't have picked a better group yourself, and we had that last season. So good luck to you. But I don't think we should be in the conference, because I don't believe in clubs dropping down to the cup below. I don't agree with Man United nearly winning the Europa League because they failed at the Champions League. But that said, we are in it.
That's the reason.
Exactly. Yeah, we are in it. So we're going to try and, hopefully we can try and win it. And wouldn't it be good to say that we've won the inaugural competitions?
Yeah. The first name on the trophy.
Who's Crocs?
I think you've worked it out just by that look, haven't you, Chris?
Okay, fair enough. I didn't like to presume.
Need to say anything. I've never worn.
I like you, Happy.
In my life.
I like you, Happy.
Oh dear, he's getting a bit of stick here. Should we get onto the team lineups, gentlemen?
Do we have to?
Well, let's do it. Let's do it. So this is what I've gone with, that I suspect that David Moyes will kick out. Let me just go full screen with that. Now, there's no real surprises there, I don't think. I mean, Fabianski between the sticks, no problem. It was confirmed yesterday that Kurt Zouma will be available for selection. Now, whether you think that's right or wrong, what are you laughing at?
You know damn well what I'm fucking laughing at.
Okay. Kurt Zouma is available. Shut up. You're making me laugh now. Kurt Zouma is available for selection. You sod. I knew you'd start me off. The back four, Cresswell, Dawson as well. I suspect that Kufal will be the right back. Again, it's arguable, should it be Kufal, should it be Johnson? I think we're quite fortunate that we've got at fullback, we've got a decent bit of cover there. Obviously, Johnson can cover both positions. Fredericks is there as well. Yes, he's injury prone, we know. But whatever. In front of them, the double pivot, I suspect, will be Declan Rice, the captain, and Thomas Souček. Now, this is where it could be that I look a little bit silly because I've gone for Ben Rama left, Bowen right, and Fornals in the 10. But it has to be noted that Manuel Lanzini, obviously came on against Watford on Tuesday night, and he was the key that unlocked the Watford defence. Obviously, he played the ball into Jared Bowen, who got the goal. Lucky though it was, you could argue, but he was the one that unlocked their defence on that particular occasion. He's obviously, David Moyes said the other day that he's got a bit of an Achilles issue, so I suspect he might start from the bench again. He might just try and protect him a little bit more, and that Michael Antonio up top. But you could argue Fornals could drop out for Lanzini. I don't know. Duke, your thoughts on that?
I think you got your emojis the wrong way around. But
I thought that afterwards, actually.
No, I like that, and I'm in agreement with Scott. I'd leave Benny in, and I also agree with what was one of the things. With what? Oh,
they're ganging up on you, aren't they?
It's happening.
Morning, Ken. Hope you're well.
Am I able to do this?
What?
Maybe if Zoom had worn Crocs, he wouldn't have hit his cap.
Right.
Oh, no, you haven't. Oh, you haven't.
Right. She can wait for 5 minutes.
She's got to give you so much abuse.
That's all right.
She's got. Morning, Rebecca. Hope you're well. And
she's
Mr.
Ben's
in the building.
Carries on. No, I'm happy with that team, Rob. I'd be happy if they put that out. If
I like it, Turf Morehouse. I like it, Dan. Very good.
The money, I like that.
He's being a bit catty, isn't he?
He is. Not much, Dan. Not much.
Oh, God.
Like I say, maybe if Zoom would have been having his Crocs on, he wouldn't have actually, hit the cat.
He'd have probably slipped and injured himself.
Yeah.
I don't need to take this from you guys.
Ah, no. Look, he's got, I can see him. He's gone into the corner of his room and he's rocking back and forth.
Oh, I'll tell you what, keep Turf Morehouse TV out the corner of the room. He pees in the corner of his bedroom.
Does he?
Yes.
Oh, that's a bit too
and
much.
That's come from his partner. So
I actually just sort of like on that. I got a friend of mine whose dad, he went on a golfing holiday and he got absolutely sort of trashed and sort of, drunk out of his skull. And he forgot that he was in a hotel room and he got up and he went where he thought the toilet was because he thought he was back at home. And it turned out he pissed on the floor. He realised
is that a true story?
That is, yeah.
You're not taking the piss then?
Behave yourself. Dear, oh dear. Oh, and Budgie's turned up as well. How you doing, Budge? Hope you're well, mate.
Budge!
So sorry, Duke, the West Ham lineup, your thoughts?
Listen, I've just been picked on, Rob. I'm sorry. It's everywhere. Bex, you don't need to know. Leave it alone. Stop picking at a scab, right? Just leave it alone. No, I'll be happy with that team, Rob, if that's what he goes with. And I really do hope he sticks to his guns and Zuma starts. At the end of the day,
some tigerish tackles, as Ken
tigerish
said.
tackles. I think it's it's going to be no lying around. But I just have we need another big performance, and I don't.
It's because he's blocked her for 5 minutes, Budge. He got too much for Duke. The sensitive.
I basically banned her for 5 minutes, Budge. I've made her go sit in a timeout. She's for God's sake, they're all at it. She's on the naughty step, and Deck and Bex are going to join her in a minute. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, this will be a civil war. It's
You
a
know
civil
what?
war. I've got no part of this. I'm staying. I'm Switzerland in this, mate.
Just quickly going back to agreeing with Mr. Ben. Ben Rama starts, but again, agreeing with Happy, although she can't comment. I don't know if she's still in the videos I'm watching.
She'll be back. She'll be back.
I'm just thinking we need a huge performance from Macau and Said tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Kent's asking a question. Listen, I'm just putting the comments up. I didn't write that. I didn't. You know.
You know what? I can't
Kent
even ban Kent. I'm not going to ban Kent.
He's channel royalty. You know.
If we beat you tomorrow, this is going to come back and bite you, because I'll make sure it does.
Definitely. Should we have a look at what I've put as the Leicester lineup, Chris? I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on what Brendan Rodgers will go with tomorrow, because obviously your knowledge of Leicester's inner workings are greater than mine. I've gone Kasper Schmeichel in goal, Pereira on the left of the back four, James Justin on the right with Amati and Soyuncu as the centre-back pairing, and Ndidi and Tielemans in front of them. Barnes left, Albrighton right, Maddison in the 10, Iheanacho up top as the 9. Your thoughts?
No, completely. Well, what he will go for is anybody's guess. Suck your fingers, stick it in the air, see which way the wind's blowing. What I think he should go for is quite a bit different to that. But I mean, you've got players in there that, I mean, Pierre not on the left for me. The Soyuncu is having a dreadful season. Tielemans and Ndidi. Well, Tielemans, he was dropped the other day, as was Barnes.
The other day.
Sorry?
And Ndidi played at centre-back the other day.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I can come in. But you know what? No, there's too many players in there. You can't... If a player's having a bad... You know, with that Forest game, which is obviously what's caused all the trouble, you know, had that been against Man City, we probably wouldn't be quite as panicky as we are now. But you can't drop players because of the way they performed against Forest and then bring them back straight away. I'm sorry, that's just that's a slap on the wrist. And after that performance, and it was the fact that it was Forest, East Midlands derby, first in 8 years, but they did not turn up. And we can't do that. I mean, I know you guys could say, well, you know, you only just managed to get through against Kidderminster, but you weren't humiliated the way we were, you know, and it is the FA Cup. You do expect surprises, but you don't expect the surprise to be that all your players sort of have a day off. So, no, if you're going to make a point, leave them out. I mean, Tielemans and Barnes were dropped. They came on during the Liverpool game and didn't make any difference. Didn't notice they were on the pitch, to be honest with you. Waste of space they were coming on. You've got... I mean, the performance against Liverpool, okay, we only lost 2-0. Was it a good performance? It was average. It was better than Forest, which is what we needed to do. We didn't, you know, had we turned up like we turned up against Forest, it could have been 5-6, 7-0. And it could have been on the night, except for Schmeichel, who was man of the match. And that, if your goalkeeper's man of the match, it kind of says it all.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it wasn't... Liverpool didn't get out of second gear, and they still managed to beat us. And okay, it was a bit of a free hit because we can't remember the last time we beat Liverpool at Anfield. This is going to be a pressure cauldron. You know, you're probably going to have your fans going through every chant they can think of. You're going to have our fans really saying, you know, this is it now. This is the first home game since then. If you've got to turn up. You've got, you know, if you don't turn up, then I don't know what's going to happen, you know. Do you want me to shall I run through my team for you?
Please do.
Yeah, because I did this for last night's, I was on a West show with Jake. So, Kasper in goal. I don't like the fact that the goalkeeper's captain. Nothing against Schmeichel. If we could have Schmeichel outfield, he'd be the perfect captain. He's got the passion. He's got, you know, the respect. But he's in goal. He can't do anything. Up
Who
the
would
other
you
end of the
have
field.
as captain if everyone was fit and on
You
form?
know, there's
Who would
there's
be your
nobody out there
captain?
that's a particular leader at the moment. You know, Tillemans was captain against Forest, says it all. You know, Tillemans is more of a David Beckham sort of captain. You know, leading by example. What we need is a Roy Keane type of captain that's going to grab these players by the bollocks and say, "Excuse me," and say, "Come on, you need to do this." So, but starting with Casper in goal. Now we're going to go for a back four. James Justin, I totally agree with you at right back. And Marty, yes. And last season he was getting absolutely pelted. This season he's probably our best defender. Soyuncu, sorry, leave him out again and bring Ndidi back in. And the only reason I'm keeping Ndidi in the team is because, sorry, I'm just seeing the picture of the Crocs there. The only reason I'm keeping Ndidi in the team is because he can play at centre back. Having said that, I wouldn't have Ndidi there this week. I would bring Chowdhury in. Because, of course, this is Rodgers. We put Chowdhury in against Liverpool when we beat them 1-0 in December.
What, you play Chowdhury at centre back, or you play him in midfield in place of
Chowdhury is centre back.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but Rodgers came out saying how good he was, how brilliant he was. We haven't seen him since, you know. And then, as Kent says there, Thomas at left back. So JJ, Amate, Chowdhury, and Thomas. Okay. Going across the midfield, 4 in midfield. On the left, I'm going to put Lookman. He is good, but left, that's his natural position. That's where he plays most of the time, and we haven't even played him on the left. Again, Rodgers, what are you doing? You know, if that's his best position, and you haven't played him once there yet. Ricardo on the other side of the coin, on the right side, because he can play that position, and he is good at going forward and can get you the odd goal. In midfield, Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, who at least is young, he shows some passion, which is more than half the bloody seniors do. And Ndidi in midfield, simply because who else have we got?
Yeah.
And then just playing, so it'd be 4-4-1-1 for me, just off the front player, Maddison, who's the only player who's got a bit of credit at the moment. He has come back into form. He had his injury, he didn't come back playing with all guns blazing. He is now, and he can be a match changer. And then Daka up front, and I feel sorry for Inacho because he's losing that again, but Daka's just got the pace, you know.
Yeah, exactly what Kent alluded to earlier. He said he'd have Daka in because he reckons his pace will absolutely, to use his words, would rinse Dawson.
Yes, yeah.
So, but yeah, that's our last 10 fixtures against each other, Chris. I mean, it's all right. We've got the advantage there over the last 10, but it's not an overwhelming advantage. I mean, for me, this game could be quite pivotal to both our seasons, I believe, if I'm being honest. I think this could be a real sort of like a turning point for either one of us, depending on the result.
I mean, we've actually played each other 29 times in the Premier League, and you've won 14 of those. So you have got the advantage over us. You know, it is an important game. You've struggled with your form.
There's your answer, Happy. There's your answer.
Get your crackers out.
That's not what I said. Yeah, you what you do with Gates is up to you, Gox. I tell you. You did say you came round your upstairs the other day, didn't you?
Yes,
if he was round you downstairs, I'd be worried about. But no, I mean, yeah, you've sort of. I hope you do well. Like I said, I really, really do want you to, as you're going to be the obvious one if you can break into that top 4, and I really want you to and do well in Europe. But you have the last couple of games, you've been a bit like that, haven't you? And for us, like I say, it is probably the game of the season. Because if you go and do another 4-1 on us, I dread to think what the crowd are going to do.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know? And it's it's in front of the home crowd. There will be literally the 12th man for the duration of the ball being in the park. And if that's Tottenham, it's usually about 4 hours. But half time, I'm not bitter at all, but half time and full time, yeah. If there's not a performance there, my God, it's going to be electric. And I'm just totally ignoring all these facts you're putting up because they're not very good at all.
Nah, that's fair enough. There might be a few good ones along. I've coupled them together as I always do. Duke, just to bring it to yourself just for a moment.
Are you still here?
Who are the key players in your mind? If you had to pick a key player from each team, who would it be and why?
Maddison.
Okay.
I rate him so highly. I really do. If I had to cherry pick a couple of players to walk into our team, one would definitely be Maddison and one would be Ward-Prowse over at Southampton. I think they're outstanding talents. Absolutely brilliant players. They'd be, if I had to cherry pick from a one player from each club, I think they'd be the first two on my list. I think they're absolutely outstanding. And for us, and listen, we keep Maddison quiet. He pulls the strings in that team. He really does. I've watched him a few times, and if he's playing well, Leicester play well. In the same way as for us, kind of Declan Rice. Happy alluded to it earlier. Kind of, I hope we have a game where Declan Rice isn't, struggling to carry the entire team on his shoulders. But for me, tomorrow, our key player needs to be Antonio. We need to see something out of this man. He's had a really poor few months, and it's key that he comes back tomorrow and pretty much does what he did to Leicester before. Whether we need to see that from him again. He needs to get himself back on track. And B, he needs to do it for Moyes. So basically, he gets asked off of Moyes' case of, I wonder what would have happened if we'd bought a striker in the transfer window. Antonio needs to start showing that little bit of goal scoring instinct that he had at the start of the season. I'm no longer friends with Elliot.
Listen, he's just giving his honest opinion. Can't win them all.
I like that opinion. I like that man.
Same. He's a Norwich fan, by the way, Chris. He's a Norwich fan.
Oh.
Yeah,
I still like him. I don't hate Norwich, as you know. Hope he wasn't in earlier.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was. I don't think he heard what you had to say.
Can we stop with the Crocs skit, please? Right? Come on.
Why?
It's
so funny.
All that's going to happen. They've seen you react to it.
I don't want to forever be known as Crocs on YouTube. Can we just leave off, please?
Best thing you could have done is not react to it. You've reacted to it, and that's it. They're on you, like a pack of tigers. Is it a pack of tigers? Is that the correct collective noun for tigers? Is it a pack?
No, I don't think it is. Is it pride of tigers?
I know it's a pride of lions, isn't it?
Oh, lions. Sorry, yes.
I'm not too sure
I have
whether
no
it's
idea.
Pride of tigers or pack
I don't know.
of tigers or
What's
an ambush.
What's a group of crocodiles called? What are they called?
My life. My shoe collection.
Very probably. What is? Hang on, ambush of was it geese or something like that? Is it
an ambush of tigers? Yeah.
You've just googled that, have you?
Oh, it can be called a streak or an ambush. It's known as streak.
Oh, you can tell he's googling it, can't you?
He's definitely googling.
Put your Google away.
Either that or it's one of his pub quizzes, I reckon.
In water is a float.
Okay.
And a group of crocodiles on land is called a bass.
Oh, hang on. We've got some knowledge here. David Attenborough's in the building. Tigers are solitary. Tigers are solitary, says Budgie. That's fair enough. They're not terribly friendly. See, I thought tigers were friendly. I mean, I remember growing up. Tony the Tiger advertised the old Frosties. He was friendly.
You thought this guy was nice, didn't you? I told you he's not.
Rob thought he was nice.
Listen, I don't know why you're complaining. Honestly, I'm cool. I'm good. So, anyway. So same question to you, Chris. Because Duke sort of like rambled on incoherently, and I don't think anyone was really listening to him, quite frankly. They're just basically sort of like throwing brickbats at him around crocodiles, and then he started going on
and so they should, they should.
Started going on about sort of tigers
Not
and stuff.
Not listening.
I didn't mention crocs. Key players, one key player from each team, Chris, and your reasons behind your selecting them.
I actually got asked by another West Ham channel to do a written thing for them for the website, and that was asking the same question. And I think for West Ham, I mean, I haven't watched an awful lot of you. I'm going to be honest with you, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But when I asked Jake yesterday to name one for me, and I can understand why he's gone there, because I did have a look at this into it afterwards. Jared Bowen,
yep,
I think is having a great season, and I think if he's on form, he could. So I just saw the word sex then.
You thought someone's offering? Quick, get the old brute around me chops.
I forgot what sex is, mate. Don't worry about that. That's solitary for me, I'll tell you.
Oh dear, the old right hand special.
This is Turf being in. I'll tell you what. We did a show last night, Turf, and with Rich from Eagle Eyed Sports, and. Don't watch the first hour because it's just football talk. Watch the last half hour. I'm trying to download it. But yeah, so Bowen, I think everybody seems to say he's having a good season. So Jesus socks, eh? For Leicester, I'm going to say Maddison. He is the one that is on form at the moment, and you just need one spot of brilliance from him, and it can change the game.
Is that true, Chris?
I'm always available. Yes, if anybody, I'm just right.
But have you ever put it on a doctor's form?
Very what? Sorry.
Have you ever have you ever done it where you've put that on a form where it says sex and you've put yes, please?
No, I've put what is it? I've put what is it? But.
Oh, mate. Duke, score prediction. How's this game going to turn out for us?
3-1.
3-1.
3-1 to the Hammers.
Okay. I'll definitely take. Oh, hang on. Rebecca must have Googled this. I'm guessing.
An ambush or a streak. I don't even know why I bother.
A streak of tigers. Despite the fact that they are solitary animals, as Budgie's alluded to. I am going to rename you David Attenborough. The missus is asking a question: are they snappy? I couldn't listen. We'll talk about that afterwards. Chris, your score prediction.
The fact that it's at Leicester.
Yep.
The fact that we've got the crowd behind us, and the fact, like I say, that the crowd I want those Leicester players to walk out on that pitch pooing themselves with fear of what the crowd is going to be like, and I want them to be up for that. And because of that, and because I will never anyway go against my team, I am going to go 2-1 to Leicester.
Okay,
as Cox said there, the two, yes, two.
I'm going to be the. I'm going to split the difference. I got a funny feeling it's going to be a Desmond.
I would take it. I would take that now, if I'm honest with you. That's how bad our season is, But it could get worse if we get knocked out by Randers, whoever the bloody hell they are in the Conference League.
Who did they played someone a year? I'd never heard of them until they played. I don't know if it was an English or a Scottish team, and they played they played them a few.
I remember when Blackburn got in the Champions League, and thank you, Happy. How's Grumpy? Oh, he's there, isn't he? When Blackburn qualified for the Champions League, they got knocked out by some Norwegian team, and they never lived it down. And
Trelleborgs, as I remember.
Yes, something like that. Yes. Oh my God, you're older than I thought. Yeah, and I'm just. I can see that if we get knocked out by Randers, oh my God, I don't know what will happen then. I really don't.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I can't decide whether to do a watch along or not tomorrow either.
Yeah, I was toying with the idea. Is it on Sky tomorrow?
It's on Sky, yes. Yes. I did one for the Forest game. Which obviously that worked out well. I did one for the Liverpool game with a Liverpool fan. So I don't know whether to do a West Ham. I might be bringing them bad luck.
Wow.
If you don't do one, and I am, and you want to come on mine, because I like to do it with an opposition fan rather than sort of two Leicester fans, But we will see how confident I'm feeling.
Guys in the live chat, if any of you want to get your score predictions in, please do. Duke, I don't think I've spoken to you about this. Obviously, with the Zuma sort of thing, there's obviously now sponsors that we're losing. I mean, this is not good news, is it?
I'm bored with it, Rob.
Are we talking about Crocs here, or the sort of Zuma situation? Okay.
No, I'm bored with it, mate. It's look, the man has listen. Do I believe he should be banned for a couple of games? Yes. Do I feel that that's the responsible thing to do on the part of the Premier League? Yeah. That's it. There it is. I don't think it has anything to do with. I don't think West Ham should have anything to do with him. We've conducted our own investigation. The man has now been fined £250,000.
Do you think those taking a step back from that? Do you think that had the club said no, we're suspending Kurt Zuma for X amount of time, that the sponsors would have been in some way appeased, and that they wouldn't have walked away from the club, as has happened and may continue still to do?
Can I ask you a question? Who have we lost? Vitality?
Vitality have suspended. I don't think they've ended it. My understanding is that they've paused it for now, and they may revisit it later.
Operation Kissing Me in Florida
have said, they've said we're off ski. Betway, I understand.
Who are these people?
The big ones, Betway, I understand they were sort of like reviewing their options. So, I mean, that's obviously our main shirt sponsor. So that would be a big one.
You know what? Look, let them go. They cannot control how we. They cannot control what we do internally with our club. I'm sorry, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. Off you go, walk away into the distance and piss off. Right? I've got no qualms with that. If that's how they feel, take care. Thank you. Investigation conducted. Find this out. What more do you want? What more do you want? The club have done their bit, right? Move the fuck on. I'm bored with it now. I saw, and bollocks, I'm going to go with it, Rob, because I got wound up with it yesterday.
Okay.
I saw a video of there is someone out there. I'm not going to out the person's name. I'm not going to out their football team, but I did see a video of someone. They stated that what Kurt Zuma did was no different to Mason Greenwood raping his girlfriend and deserves the same response.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Listen, I know it's early. It's a Saturday. Yep. Kids, fuck off. No. They need to be taken into a room and just left. Right? They pissed. I can't be dealing with that. That was a West Ham fan that said that. That came out of their mouth. No. It is nowhere near it. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the least. That's the Greenwood thing at 1. Down here, is where what Zuma's done in the grand scheme of things. No, it's not even worth discussing in the same in the same place. It's not even there you go, not even in the same category. To hear that come out of a West Ham fan's mouth really fucking bugged me. And I weren't going to out the team, but bollocks. To hear that come out of a fan's mouth, nah, I'm sorry, that wound me up. This just needs to be done and dusted. Now, I've just read that Michael Bisping, the UFC fighter,
yeah,
has turned around and said that if he sees Kurt Zouma, he's going to kick him in the head. What's it got to fucking do with you? Stay on the other side of the Atlantic, knob jockey. Do your little fights and piss off. It's got nothing to do with you lot.
It's because he's retired and people have forgotten who he is. That's the only
Pretty
reason.
much.
Yeah.
Chris Packham, exactly the same reason, mate. Washed up TV presenter, off you go. Yes, I am. Off you go. You've got nothing to do with this situation. It's been investigated by the club. He's been fined. Move on. If the Premier League now want to jump in and go, well, we feel he's brought the Premier League into disrepute, knock yourself out. That's your position, and you're allowed to do that because this falls under your umbrella, the Premier League, these clubs. That's fine. I've got no qualms with that. And if they decide to go, you're right, Si, but it's wound me up. It's one of them. And that's why I apologise. But if the Premier League decide now to ban him for 2 or 3 games, fine, I've got no qualms with that. If they decide, they did it to Cantona. But what I will say,
but then that was on the field of play. That's what my counter to that would be. That was on the field of play.
I also want to now
was not
want to counter with. Where's this just appeared from? I'm on a video. What do you want?
Turn off the unplug the telly thing so I can.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, go on. Why not? It's all right. That was so
live,
important.
people. It's live.
So important. I mean, I'm not quite sure what happened. No, he's
whatever you do, don't kick him out.
Mate, I'm just going out the window in a minute. I can't remember where I was. Antonio yesterday, his comments that he made. I was touching on it. Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez said what he said to Patrice Evra on the pitch. He got a £40,000 fine, and I think he got a 6-game ban. I'm pretty sure.
And he didn't lose his sponsors, which was Adidas, which is the same people that have dumped Kurt Zouma.
Exactly. And this is for me. It's just I can't even. You get people saying Alonso, when he was in Madrid, the guy's still earning a living. He's still earning a living, yet his choices ended up with someone losing their life, and here we are. Fucking cat. Move on. Play him. I don't care about the sponsors. Piss off. Someone else will come in. Job done.
Mate, don't sit on the fence.
Apologies.
Just come out and say what you think.
I'd be interested to know what have your thoughts, but obviously watching this from a distance as it's been unfolding, Chris, what have your thoughts been on all of the this particular issue?
On the disciplinary side, that's up to West Ham. That's not up to Leicester to get involved in that.
Yeah.
I just think are people getting more wound up about Zouma and his than the cat than they are Greenwood and what allegedly happened with his girlfriend? I mean, I'm not an animal lover, but then again, I don't condone kicking cats. But at the end of the day, we are. I just think sometimes we do get our priorities wrong. Yes, it was bad. We know it was. We don't know what led up to that. And I'm not saying anything should justify it, but we don't know the whole thing. I can't believe that people are saying it's comparing it to Greenwood at all, because I think it, like Duke said, it's different ends of the scale. But we are such a PC snowflake in society at the moment, and I mean, when Cantona did what he did, when Suarez did what he did, we weren't as snowflakey and we can't do this, we can't do that back then as we are now. If it was a Leicester player, I don't know. I mean, until it happened, but you leave the club to deal with it. If the club have punished him, that they think to the right degree, then that's it. It's the end of the matter. And if he is one of your better players and you need him I mean, I've seen people having a go at David Moyes for picking him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what happens if you finish 5th and you lose tomorrow because you've got somebody else in that position?
5th. That would be great.
No, what I'm saying is though, then people are saying because you've dropped him for however many matches. Then defense hasn't been so good. They'd be going mad. Well, yeah. It's a no-win situation, but guys, it's your player, it's your club. They will make the decision, and at the end of the day, whatever will be, and I don't think anybody, as I always say, glass houses, really.
Yeah. Well, it's I mean, look, if those sponsors want to relinquish their association with West Ham, that's fine. But I've actually done a little bit of phoning around, and these guys have said that they would quite happily come in to sponsor us. So all is not lost. What can I say? What can I say?
But
sponsors, one door closes.
I love that, mate. I love that. Brilliant. But I'm going to say, sponsors, they are so scared. They are so scared to stick by people these days. The slightest little thing, oh God, we might lose a couple of sales. We can't be seen to be, we can't be seen to be still sponsoring that person. Grow some bollocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, crazy. You got me at it now.
Listen, I just think that we need to. Oh, don't look, she's laughing. Yeah. Listen, I just think it's what he's done was horrible. What he did was really scummy. But all these people saying we should sack him, all these people saying he should never work in football again. There have been people that have done far, far worse, and their careers have carried on without,
There's a couple. Isn't there a convicted rapist that's now playing for a team in Scotland?
David Goodwillie. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such an unfortunate name there, but
allegedly it's not.
Well, but the daft thing about that was that I only became aware of it 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, me
but
too.
This guy had been playing the whole time, and I'm like, and we're getting all sort of like po-faced and indignant about a guy that's sort of like kicked his cat, slapped his cat, which he shouldn't have done. I'll make no apologies.
No, nobody's.
I mean, personally, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. I think that what the club should have done is, I think the club should have done what Manchester United did with Cantona. I know it's a different set of circumstances, but I think that Manchester United immediately suspended Eric Cantona. They didn't wait for the Premier League or the FA to get involved. They immediately suspended him. I personally think that's what should have happened with Zuma for a period of time. I think that he should have been fined the maximum, which I'm led to believe is actually 6 weeks' wages, according to Simon Jordan, in exceptional circumstances. Kurt Zuma got fined 2 weeks. I'd have personally fined him the 6, because I think this is exceptional. I think he should have been made to go on some sort of course to give him some sort of education. Now, I did see the stream that Gonzo put out yesterday morning where he turned around, and I kind of agree with what he's saying. All he's going to basically do is he's going to say, yes, I've attended the course. Oh, yes, I've now realised the error of my ways. And it's like, really, has he? Possibly not. But that's it's one of those things.
You can say that about driving bans, though, can't you? You speed, they send you on the course. Are you never going to speed again? Bollocks, of course you are. You know what I mean? I do really, like I say, I just get fed up with everybody's holier than thou attitude, and how, as I say, we've got to cancel him because he's done this or whatever. God, I mean, I'd hate to be a teenager growing up in this world at the moment, because it would drive me mad. there's got to be different levels of, what Cantona did was a hell of a lot worse. What, Good Willie did was even worse than that. What Greenwood's done, you could, is you can't compare them. And as I say, glass houses. I really think it is. We as a club have had problems with players. I mean, we got a few arrested down at La Manga a few years ago under Mickey Adams. And the problem is these days, there's so much going on, and it's so easily out there. I was reading the paper today, and all of Rebecca Vardy's text to her manager or whatever it was out there for all to be seen. It's just, you can't do anything these days. And I think at the end of the day, it comes down sometimes to the stupidity of players. When they do these things, they think it's never, ever going to get out.
It's probably sort of like that they live in a little bit of a cocooned environment, and that they're insulated from the real world sort of thing. But the problem is that the world that they inhabit, everybody's got a mobile phone that they can record. So, if you've got a famous figure out, whether it's a footballer, a movie star, whatever, and they're out basically being an arse, then you're not going to escape it, or you're very, very unlikely to. Someone is bound to be there recording it. Look, here is X celebrity basically being a dick, and they'll upload it to their social media platform, or they'll sell it to the Sun or whatever.
Well, this is it.
And it will get out there.
People are going for the 15 minutes of fame, aren't they? And the check and what have you. And you suddenly realise that your friends aren't necessarily your friends. The annoying thing for me is how it's taken everything over. And I'm not criticising you here, but like, we're talking about it when we should be talking about a game of football. It happened. It's been dealt with. Get over it.
I'm hoping that as the time rolls on, that people will just sort of calm down.
He's going to take banter from opposing fans.
Yeah, of course he will. He had it the other night. He got booted. He's down on the floor. He's sort of like rolling around, and the Watford fans immediately, that's how your cat felt. And to be fair, as an opposition fan hearing that, I actually did find it funny.
Yeah. I say Vardy gets it all the time about his wife and what have you. Rooney gets it about shagging old women. Yeah. I mean, you've got to take that as a footballer. And, he's got to live with that, to be honest with you. And that's a bit of a punishment. But no, I just wish these footballers would just grow up. I really, really do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the cats have been taken off of him now. I mean, I didn't believe the statement about they were sort of like looked after and all that. It's like, yeah, right. Okay. But yeah, I wouldn't let him have any animals for.
No, I wouldn't. Listen.
Yeah.
That's a minimum. That is a minimum.
He's a scumbag for doing it. I'm not defending in any way, shape, or form Kurt Zouma. He's a scumbag. He's an animal. I'm not sure. He's got the fine. I personally think, in the eyes of the law, he doesn't get. He's banned from owning pets. I know I've seen some people with significantly worse cases of animal abuse, i.e., horses in horse fields and things like that, got a ban just for 5 years. I think not feeding animals and not generally looking after the animals how you should. That's significantly worse. If you're not feeding your animals and letting them starve to death, I personally think that's worse than what Zouma did on a one-off occasion. We don't know if it's any worse. We can only assume. I'm not going to assume. I'm going to say it was a one-off. And you see people getting banned from owning horses for 5 years, 6 years. Here he is with this situation where he's being battered.
Do you know what would happen? I hope this doesn't happen, but what would happen if it's 1-1 tomorrow, and in the 89th minute, or no, in Leicester, it'll probably be the 95th minute, Zouma pops up and scores the winner for you?
Well, we're going to cheer.
Every single West Ham fan will be cheering, and that's the hypocrisy of it all. Yeah, we hate players when they're in, but God, they. I mean, it's always like that, isn't it? But, that is the hypocrisy that makes me laugh a bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. He'll if he scores a goal. I mean, to be fair, he had a decent performance against Watford, and I think I think there was possibly some West Ham fans that might have given him a bit of stick, and that's fair enough. He's brought that on himself, but I think that he with his performance, I think that possibly a few of those boos at least silenced down, and over, like I say, over time, many players, like I say, you could mention Luis Suarez, you could mention Marcos Alonso, you could mention John Terry, have all done things, Eric Cantona, either on the football pitch or off, Wayne Rooney, as you mentioned earlier, and they get a bit of stick for a while and they get dealt with by the authorities or by their club or whatever. But their career carries on. And I don't think that this should be any different. He's done completely the wrong thing. I'm not going to defend the guy for what he's done, but should he lose his career? Absolutely not.
The thing you've got to ask as well is, what should happen with all the Burnley players, because they can't even kick a ball?
Dan. I'll tell
Can I ask one question before we call it a day?
Yep.
It's just this comment from this gentleman here, Eamon. A woman in November lost her job. Are you advocating then that Kurt Zuma should lose his job? I've seen the video of the woman that lost her job in November. Basically, she had a horse that ran in the road, and I've seen the video because I've compared the two videos. She kicks the shit out of that horse. She smacks it around the face. She kicks it in the legs. It goes on for a good few minutes about kicking the shit out of this horse. Now, she's a teacher. She molds young minds for a living. I mean, I'm not saying it. I'm asking the question, do you believe that she should have lost her job? Like, it's just a question. I'm not, it's your opinion. I'm of the opinion that I don't think he should have done. And that's me. I don't think he should. Hers was slightly different because it was, from what I'm seeing in the Zuma video, it might have been, I don't know whether it's two occasions where he chases the cat round. I'm not sure. There you go. Fred's right. If he wanted to work the cat, he was going to still a prick, but not the point. She beat the shit out of this horse in a prolonged attack. Like I say, it lasted a good few minutes. From what I remember seeing, I think she smacks it around the face 4 or 5 times, kicks it a good couple of times because this horse ran in the road. I'm not. I'm just saying it's a different situation. I'm not saying he should lose his job. He can go and play for someone else. So what you're saying, were you saying we should sack him, or were you saying we should sell him? So I'm not being funny. If we decide we're going to sell him, we're not going to get anywhere near the 30 million that we paid for him. And if we sack him, he's going to be picked up almost immediately by someone, maybe in a different country. Me and Gates were saying this during the week. If we let him go, he's going to be signed up by 12 o'clock by someone else before the Friday, so he can play again on the Saturday.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. So why don't we just let him play for us? Listen, he's done wrong. He's came out, he's apologised. He's been fine. There may be a ban coming. He's lost his cats. He might lose the ability to own pets going forward.
Yeah.
Job done.
You can't keep punishing him for the same misdemeanor, I don't think. I think,
I mean, Duke, let's say if you did that, Duke, right? And somebody, he's struggling turf. Make the most of it, because you're not going to be able to banter me next season, because you'll be bantering Rotherham and Walsall and all those, won't you? He knows me. But no, let's say, Duke, let's say you were caught on camera doing that. Probably the worst thing for you is having to walk down in the pub the next day with, a packed pub, and you having to walk out there and do your job, and that's what the players had to do, and again, let's say, don't want anybody thinking I'm condoning it, I'm not, but my God, there's worse things going. I mean, it is bad, but there are worse things, it's happened, it's happened, he's been punished. Let's move on. Get the banter tomorrow, I'm sure, from Leicester fans, although I'd sooner the Leicester fans actually got behind the team rather than, because you know what'll happen. We'll banter him all game, and he'll get the goal at the end for us. But they're going to give the banter out, and he's got to accept that that's part of what goes with it. and yeah. And it won't go away. It won't, we used to do that with I think Joe Mattock, who years ago used to had the same problem with women, and he every time he came back to the club, we bantered him, and that went on for years and years and years.
Right. We shall end it there, chaps. We've been going for nearly an hour and 10 minutes, waffling on and whatever.
Yeah.
So we've given our score prediction. We've run through the team. I think we've pretty much covered everything, haven't we? Unless anything you want to say before we wrap it up, gentlemen? Chris?
Just be kind to us, please. Now, in all seriousness, like I say, I really wish it was us that was challenging again. It isn't. Apart from Sunday, I wish you guys the best of luck for the rest of the season. I really do hope you smash that glass ceiling, do what we couldn't do and get in the top 4. And I hope you can go as far as you were able to in the Europa League as well. I really wish you luck, guys.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for coming on. Duke, anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I want to apologise for my language, not because comments that have been put in, but I do realise that I got a little bit overheated. I don't think it devalues our channel. I don't think it pretty much changes what we do. But I am aware that obviously kids can watch.
Although having said that, we've got the settings on YouTube to say that it's not designed for kids.
But if I have offended anyone with my language, I do apologise. But I'm not going to change being me. I just want to say thank you everyone that's come along. Turf, thank you for joining us. Chris, it's always a pleasure having you on the channel, my man. I much appreciate it.
Yeah, pleasure being on. Thank you for asking me. Just next time, please don't wear your Crocs.
And please don't.
I take it back.
Don't forget to drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon. You'll be notified of any new content as and when we upload it to the channel. Duke, what are we?
Well, I can't do it, so I'm just going to say we're massive.
That'll do. Come on, you Irons.